Hey, what's up, y'all? You see, I've been thinking a lot lately about the whole incel phenomenon, the single mother phenomenon, and I noticed, shit, maybe the incel, no, not fucking maybe, I'm sure the incels are basic, like the rise of the incels, right? So, a lot of the incels' problems, they say they can't get laid. Now I want you to think about something. About 75% of the men growing up today raised by single mothers, right? Well, what the hell does a single mother, what the hell does any woman know about being a man? And especially in the dating game. Like, our social dynamic is two different sides of the coin, right? We got nothing in common. See, a guy goes out, he approaches a chick, he gets shot down a few times, and just lather, rinse, repeat until it works. More or less. I mean, he does have to generate some kind of sexual marketplace value, work out, get some money on him, etc., etc. But what does a woman got to do? A woman more or less just stands there, gets approached, and I mean that's really it. Have a vagina, have a pussy, and yeah, that's like their only requirement for dating. Because a guy really don't give too much of a shit about what she's got going on for her, what she's got. There'll be fucking white knight cucks who say, "Hey, look, I want a chick with person." Look, no guy gives a fucking fuck about personality. We damn sure don't care about the money either. A guy makes his own money. Shit, it's been like that since the dawn of time. A guy's always been about resources. But let's think about like what the chick does. A chick is basically there to get fucked. That's So I mean, it only makes sense that that's her only requirement. But let's think about how this works and create how this all fits together in creating incels. All right, so a child learns from his parents, right? Now, a good, healthy child will learn from a mommy and a daddy. But suppose the daddy ain't there to teach the boy what it's like to be a daddy. What it's like to be a man, right? So, if old dude grows up just basically being taught how the world works by his mother, he's going to grow up thinking, the world works the way for him, the way it does for a woman. Now, what do I mean by this? You can see a lot of these fucking incel dudes. Like, let's take Elliot Rodger, for example. He actually mentioned in his manifesto that he never once approached a woman. Somehow, he was rejected. Now, in his mind, and I know I'm just stealing a lot from Monkey Jones right now, but in his mind, he believed that the way the dating game worked was he gets approached. So every time a woman crossed his path who did not approach him, he perceived that as a rejection. Now, for a normal dude who understands how the dating game works, it's pretty damn common sense that this guy was just being a fucking idiot. I mean, it just seems like this guy was being a fucking idiot. Because, that's just not how it works. Normal dudes would know this. It's pretty much implied. But Elliot didn't know this. He was approaching the dating game from a woman's perspective. And I cannot speak for the dude in Toronto because I don't know much about him. But apparently he also had some kind of autism and some other shit. I mean, the dude looked fairly good. So did Elliot. Elliot ain't look too half bad either. But And Elliot was fucking loaded. He had fucking money. Hell, his dad was the guy who produced Hunger Games. Or, fuck, directed Hunger Games. Yeah, somehow, like, this guy, like, he had all the sexual marketplace value. I mean, his real problem came from really just not knowing how the fucking world works. So if you think about it, I went on the Incels.me website, alright, Incels.me, and I just posted an anonymous question, like how many others, to try to relate to them, how many others were raised by single mothers, and I'll be damned, it was quite a few of them. I got over 1,000 responses, in a short period of time. There we go. Sorry guys, trying to play a game to make this video not so boring. But yeah, I mean, it seems to be a growing phenomenon, single motherhood, chicks not wanting to fucking keep the daddy. And as a guy who was raised by a single mother and was an incel for quite some time, until I basically got a taste of reality, I mean, I can pretty much attest this is how most incels, if not all of them, think. You think about it, this is like the real issue. Everybody's sitting here fearing incels, but I think the thing they really should be fearing is single motherhood, because if that 75% turns into 100%, 100% old dudes getting raised by single mothers, which, I mean, it sounds far-fetched, but damn it, the way shit's going, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, if you really think, you should be fearing single mothers. Somebody should be like, fucking get up in some kind of senate or something, whoever makes the laws. I'm not too politically inclined, but I think somebody should like pass a law like, look, the guy's got to be involved somehow. He's got to be involved with the child's life. And I really do think this will solve the problem. I mean, sure, the mother is important. I'm not taking that from her. But at the same time, being raised by a woman, a man raised by a woman, and on top of that, like if their experience is a lot like mine, which was basically demonizing the father until the child like literally just hates men too, like, yeah, that's real fucked up. You should not be doing that to your kid. But if the other ones are, if most or all incels raised by single mothers and are taught that men are basically like spawns of Satan or whatnot, I mean, this is like, I'm not too sure where I'm going with this. I apologize, guys. I do got like severe ADHD, but I do want to make this point, right? Incels are basically, the signs point to them being created by single mothers. Now that's not a good thing, because the rise, like the number of single mothers is just going up. Like I walked out to Walmart, right? I would say 9 out of 10 women I see at Walmart basically have a kid with them, and that kid is unruly as hell. I don't think it would be so if there was a man in the relationship, because let's think about what a man does. A man is there to discipline folks. I mean, shit. A man is there to basically be like a pillar, a strong, A man is basically like the person with the logical reasoning. Like, women don't have logical, well, I mean, they do, but not to the degree men do. And they damn sure don't have the control, the self-control needed to control any, well, really any situation. You know, when shit goes down, the woman's first one to talk shit. When shit goes down and a man's in control, then, you know, he's going to keep his mouth shut and strategically try to get himself out of whatever whatever conflict's going on. And if need be, he'll throw a few punches here and there, get his point across. A woman just goes straight for throwing punches, which I also believe contributes to the other factor, the other kind of men who are not incels but are raised by single mothers, and that is the jailbird. They basically learned this is how the world works. This is how you respond to conflict. And so what they do is, at any given chance, they will throw a punch. They won't think about it. They won't think about the repercussions because they're learning from women. And women don't really get repercussions for throwing a punch. I mean, she can probably walk into Walmart, shoot somebody, and walk out with her groceries in hand. I mean, a little exaggerated, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past society these days. Shit. Pussy gets you away with murder. It's been done. It's been done. Now, I did get a chance to... Now, I want to speak personally about how I kind of left the incel thing. I'd probably still be there if I didn't really go through this. But I had a chance to reunite with my dad, and that was pretty much the day I went MGTOW, and I realized all this shit is just, it's all bullshit. Like, chicks will be, like, thinking their dude is God and whatnot, until the day they break up. Then he's just the spawn of Satan, along with every other dude. And the guy ain't even got to be at fault. My dad let me know, hey, this went down. This is how shit really went down. And unlike the mother who would talk about the dad talking about the mother, he was just kind of neutral-minded, you know? He was all, yeah, he was just kind of neutral. He didn't have no prejudice. He wasn't enthusiastic about talking shit about someone. I mean, he was just chill the fuck out. Let's fucking talk like normal human beings, you know? Talk like civilized people. I mean, that's just my experience, you know? I'm really grateful I went through that. It kind of opened my eyes, kind of gave me some red pill wisdom. I swear, if I didn't know better, I'd say my dad was red pill as fuck, you know? But I mean, he's remarried to my stepmom now. And yeah, funny story. So I forget what the fuck I was going to say. I'm sorry about that. Shit, if I remember, I'll damn sure throw it in. But what I was getting at about the incels and the single mothers. You know, what does a woman really know about being a man? I mean, we know what they say about being a man. You know, men are pigs. Men are, you know, misogynistic. Incels are misogynistic. I say the incels really just need somebody to talk to. You know, because I know if the incels are anything like my grandmother, who I know I said mother, but really was my grandmother who raised me. Shit. I know I'm starting to confuse y'all with that now. If I confuse y'all, let me know. Hate, dislike the video, whatever. But I want to say, you know, if this is, I'm saying, like, I could always be wrong about something, right? I can always be wrong. Anyone can be wrong. But the signs are pointing to incels are raised by single mothers, because a lot of them have mommy issues, which would come from a neglectful mother, father not being there. I think that would also imply daddy issues. And it really just makes you think, right? Oh, fuck. Cops on me. And it really just makes you think. Like, if there were laws passed that basically like said, hey, look, the daddy's got to be here. Like if the laws at least somewhat favored men and said, hey, look, this is a child's dad. If the dad wants to show up, damn it, you got to let this man show up. You got to let this man hang out with this kid. And I know they got that whole shit. What's it called? I don't know what it's called, but they got this thing where if you're basically you have a right to visit your kid. However, I noticed a lot of single mothers, especially since I had a lot of friends who are also raised by single mothers. I mean, it's pretty hard to avoid knowing somebody who wasn't raised by a single mother, or who was raised by a single mother. It's just such a damn phenomenon. It's just so common. But oh shit. But yeah, I think the law somewhat favored men, and the laws where you could visit your kid and you could hang out with your kid, basically like a true 50-50 at the very least. If both parents cannot be together without tearing each other apart, okay, I get it. But at least let the kid, for the kid's sake, have a 50-50 like parenting, like half half the time with the dad, half the time with the mother. I mean, if the parents are cutting each other's throats, yeah, I mean that's a real problem. But at the same time, the kids still got to get that daddy mother times. They got to have both. Otherwise, they really don't get both perspectives on life. Like if the daddy can't, because the daddy, like how a daddy would help an incel would basically be like this. Daddy's gonna show up, be like, and he starts talking about rejection. So daddy drops some some wisdom on his ass and starts talking about like, hey, look, okay, son, I get it, but you can't, that shit your mother told you. That's good advice for a woman. But because you're a dude, you got dick and balls, then you just can't do that. Like, it just don't work. Oh, damn. Police brutality up in here. But because you got dick and balls, it just don't work like that for you. So here's what you gotta do. Forget the flowers, forget the High School Musical prom proposals and shit. Here's what you gotta do. You gotta play the bad boy. You got to feign disinterest while simultaneously letting her know you're interested. Because if you don't do both at the same time, the woman's basically going to perceive it as you're just not interested. And then, shit. You still don't get what you want. Women are very fucking confusing. Alright? I've had the unfortunate pleasure of knowing this. And I mean, it does get easier to deal with over time. You sort of learn the cues and all this other shit. To an extent, I will say it's damn sure not really worth fucking with. Like, if you want to fuck, I know Turd Flinging Monkey's got that sex doll, and that's cool, that's his thing, that's him going his way, that's his way. But some dudes just want to fuck, they just want to fuck chicks. And I personally, as someone who prefers a life like that, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Although that's my biased opinion. TFM sees it a different way. He's already, TFM's done said that. Cost to benefit analysis. And that's cool. That's cool. To him, having sex with a real woman isn't really beneficial. And I'm not hating the guy for it. Don't make it. I don't want to make it seem like I'm hating the guy. I damn sure. I mean, I'm a huge ass fan of him, right? But at the same time, I know there's some MGTOW who are like, oh, you're not real MGTOW because you don't do this. Like, I mean, am I not a real gamer because I'm not too fond of fucking because I'm not too big on Call of Duty? Like, I like Call of Duty, but shit, it's just not my thing, man. I've always been more of an RPG kind of guy. Open world, But I'm getting off topic. But yeah, I'm saying there's a few MGTOW I definitely disagree with, and you need to understand it's important to, accept that you will disagree with some MGTOW. Let's talk about shit. What's that dude's name? Undead Chronic. This guy cannot make a single video without talking shit about women, right? He can't, insulting the chicks he does reviews of. And, I disagree with it. It's not exactly cool to be hating on somebody. I mean, I get it. If you hate women, I'm not going to hold that against you. There is a lot of fucking reason to hate somebody. And if this certain gender just straight up pisses you off, then, I mean, by all means. I mean, some folks just hate white dudes. I'm a white dude. Well, technically mixed. There's some folks who just hate fucking black dudes, Mexicans, Asians, for whatever reason. There will be groups who are like, oh, we all got to stick together, one love, and that's all cool, right? To an extent I can agree with that. I mean, fuck. I just got wasted. And I agree with the whole one love thing. But at the same time, if you got some kind of history and you just can't look somebody in the eye, I mean, that's just some shit based on experience. You can hate and love whoever the fuck you want. Alright? And I know some folks are like racist, anti-racist, fuck you. I mean, I get it, man. I do. Hell. You're not gonna like everybody. You can't like everybody. And I disagree with the feminists. I damn sure disagree with the feminists. Actually, while we're talking about while I got that topic up, I want to say something. Just get something off my chest. I don't think feminism should exist anymore. Just as I don't think Black Lives Matter should exist. Basically, these two groups, they share something very similar and equal, and both equally annoying. See, the feminism groups, they're protesting something that no longer exists. They're protesting women's oppression. Women are not oppressed. If anything, I would say they're privileged. So, feminism doesn't have a reason to exist anymore. And much like Black Lives Matter, which is basically the same thing, black people are not oppressed anymore. There are a certain majority of people who do think they're oppressed, and shit, I just call bullshit on that. But, back on feminism, it really don't have a reason to exist anymore. Like, if you think about it, once something just goes, once something is kept beyond its use, it really just becomes, it just becomes foul. Like if you left lettuce in the, if you bought a leaf of lettuce, right, and you put that on, you put some lettuce on your sandwich, and that was the only sandwich you plan on eating for the rest of the week. And you just stuff the lettuce back in the fridge, and you come back, it's got mold on it, but you still consider to use it, and it just makes you sick, because it served its purpose. It's no longer necessary. And that's kind of what feminism and Black Lives Matter, that's kind of where they're at. They've served their purpose, and they're just expired, and they're looking for something to do. They're really just bored. They're bored. They're looking for a purpose, and like that piece of lettuce, its purpose, the purpose has been served. It no longer has a purpose, and really, it's just if you try to keep it on the same purpose, it's gonna make you sick. And I think a lot of those feminists and the Black Lives Matter folks, they're really just sick. They're trying to get on their purpose, and Their purpose is just no longer necessary, like it's been over, it's been done with. I sound like a broken record. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of what happens when folks, you know, excuse me, a little tired, a little tired. But that's kind of all I wanted to touch on today. You know, stay red pill, stay PUA, stay MGTOW, whatever you identify with. Later on, I do want to make a video addressing NoFap and how it would basically be a good core for MGTOW, how it would help you improve your life and all that cool shit. But that's a video for another time.